What you actually have, I'll be quiet. I will use this PowerPoint to actually make it become my test. So I'll just rename this and I'll monkey up. That's why it's the same. Now, what that means, that's an unusual structure for a formula. That's elemental iodine with potassium iodide. That's taking iodine like from the element. So there's a name for that. And when I asked for the iodine, I wanted Lugol's iodine. You want to have Lugol here, so we have Graham. And Michelle thought it would work. We're going to find out. Y'all lied to me.
Spell Lugol for me?
It's on the slide.
Okay.
All right, there it is. What I really wanted was Lugol.
My name.
But if it works, I'll use Graham.
Graham, G-R-A-H.
Just plain 4 letters, Graham.
Oh, okay.
But what I wanted was this one. And my PowerPoint set up to show this one, but actually I'm using Graham stain. And that Graham stain, you may have seen bacteria that are Gram positive, Gram negative. Well, they use that to stain bacteria because of the starch the bacteria contains inside it. Well, if that finds starch in bacteria, it should find starch in my bread. That was the premise. We'll find out. But anyway, I don't know what his initials stand for. I didn't know it was I2KI. I didn't know it was Lugol. So I did a little background researching. It can be used as antiseptic when you get hurt for iodine on your lip. That's it. That's the iodine for it. But it also can be used in the lab to test for the presence of starch. But it's a very good disinfectant. So if you were to be cut or whatever, you can put it on the wound and kill bacteria.
Wait.
Okay, I didn't know y'all copied that one stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Try to copy it word for word. Just take your notes.
Put a date on
I'm trying
it.
to
That's good.
Save our fingers.
It's been around a long time, obviously. More than 100 years. This thing will be 200. It's going to be 200 years old.
That's I2KL or KI?
It's I2KI.
KI.
There's no element called KL. There's no KL, like Klondike. There's only a K and there's an I.
Okay.
Is this like
If that were I2CL, that'd be confusing. Because there is a C by itself. But there is no KL, so thank God for that. That is when I read it, it was called elemental, like the element on the table, elemental iodine with potassium iodide. That's what that means. Especially Lugol. He's the guy who first tried it. But we're using more as a disinfectant or as a put on a wound than for testing. It works. And it's not very expensive either.
Isn't it the tablet that you put in your contaminated water and stuff?
All right.
One second.
But I underline how we're going to use it as a starch detective device.
He's a greatest one.
So now it's going to need your camera. Like some folks take pictures.
I think they started. So how do we
I'll move on because I can go back if you need to. All right. Something about starch that makes it detectable. It's a great big old molecule. It's a polysaccharide. And actually, it's just composed of tons of glucoses hooked together. But they branch and branch and branch and branch, and that's what makes it detectable. This won't detect glucose by itself. Only when glucose is chained together in large chains. it's going to turn really dark black. I'm hoping that iodine back there is not black already. If it's black already, what's going to be a problem? You want to see a change. And that's why I realized the Sudan solution, being red already, works better on that paper towel. When the water evaporates, it comes to a nice light pink color. But the fat doesn't evaporate, the fat stays there. And then you get that nice pretty stain like you saw on my paper towel. So if those paper towels back there, they'll do it too, I discovered. I don't need to buy anything fancy. I haven't tried it on my Piggly Wiggly paper sack yet. That would be the best of all, I would think. But you're looking for a dark blue-black type of thing, type of reaction. And I've got a few pictures to show you of the actual positive reaction. Now, the iodine I remember using is kind of a light strawy brown color. It's not black like you're going to see. I hope that iodine over there is a straw brown color that will turn black. All right, and move on. On the next slide, I found on the internet, I forgot what college I went to. Being a college professor with my professional license, I can get into Penn State and look at things that you couldn't look at. So I found some things that way. But what you're going to see is a different color. 10%. All those are divided by 10. I got this one is 10 times weaker than that one. That's 10 times weaker than that one. Matter of fact, this is 100 times weaker than that one over there. So if I divide them by 10, I get this. Divide them by 10, I get this. Divide by 100, I get that. So I'm going to show you how this thing, it ain't always flat black. It has shades, which is kind of nice. And that's just 1% solution. That ain't a lot of starch either, buddy. And if you can detect 1/100th, this is a pretty good stain. And you'll soon see the colors, and they're not hard to figure out which is which. But I do like that people do it too. Let me show them to you. Just all this up. Remember now, the strongest starch is on the left. And on my picture, the weakest starch is on the right. So there they are. And you can clearly see. As a matter of fact, that one on the right would make you think about protein stain. You didn't know better. Because remember Biuret? You stain proteins that color. So you got to know what stain you're talking about when you discuss these colors. If I'm discussing Biuret, that's a nice, strong, positive stain for proteins. If I'm discussing iodine, that's a weak stain for starches. I can't show you a test tube and say, what stain was it? Unless I say, give me all the options. Like I just told you. You can say, well, if that was Biuret, well, that last one over here, that'd be a nice, strong indicator for proteins. However, if that was iodine you're using, that's a pretty weak indicator for starch. It would depend on what stain you use. Now, Benedict, you see that color in Benedict at all? That's the one you see greens and you saw the orange and some reds. You'll see that color. Right? So that's pretty clear. Now, the middle one could be a negative for Benedict because it's blue strawberry, right? It's already blue. It ain't that blue though. It's not that blue. And Biuret's also blue, remember? Yeah. So those could be. And you can discuss that test tube for a while on all the possible options. Now the next one I'll show you. I brought in some bread. I brought in honey wheat bread. I didn't bring any regular white bread in, which is the worst kind of eat problem. But the starch is real long and foiled up like a spring. And that's why it's the curl that bends the light and makes you see the color you see when the iodine reacts. Now I'm going to show you another slide. There was another strong reaction that was positive. And I'm going to show you, I think on the same slide, I show you the color of iodine in the bottle before it ever reacted. That you see what would happen if nothing happened. But light brown to purple is what you're looking at. A real light brown color, I would say, would be a negative response because iodine is light brown by itself. It's light brown starting. And you saw right here how the colors went. There's no light brown there at all. If you saw a fourth test tube light brown, you go, that's negative. Nothing happened there at all. Now I might try to find a fourth test. I just haven't found a fourth one. The next slide is going to show you another strong. And if I'm saying strong, what color you probably going to be seeing pop up there in a minute?
Black.
Black. You wouldn't expect to see blue because there's a stronger reaction to blue. Blue's pretty strong, but black is just amazing. All right, let me show you this next slide. The one over here, that's the color of iodine when you get in the liver. Kind of like color of urine, really. And the one on the other side is a real strong positive test using that. It turned colors. Now, if that positive was not a lot of starch, it might be blue. Or it might be purple and get less than that. So that right there tells you that sucker's loaded with starch. And I'm hoping that when I pour that iodine out, it's going to look like that. I might put water and dilute it. So it does so I can get checked. It's already black, and what good is black? You want to see nothing happen. All right. There are some untested samples, and those are not being tested yet. And you can see, we can't say I got water, glucose, starch, milk, apple juice, and potato juice. And then there's a bottle of iodine, which is a little darker than we saw last time, but you see, it's still that nice brown color. Now, if you pour it in, and they're going to put drops in, here's how it's going to, there's the results.
Never mind.
They are again. I put the results are on top, and what's on the bottom is what? That I put on there, so you compare.
Okay.
Now, the first three, would you say yes or no to it?
No.
No, okay. The color of urine, that's a no. How about that starch? It's starch. Obviously, if it's starch, it's going to turn black. Now, the milk, would you say yes or no?
No.
That's just color of iodine. I say no. The apple juice? No. How about the potato juice? Yeah. Potatoes grow in the ground, right? All they are stored starch in the plant base. So that makes sense to be that color. So that's what you can expect to see. Now, they're using test tubes or little beads. And that's enough to show you what you're
Is the
doing.
milk just a combination of the iodine and the
It is a combination.
Have you looked at it?
Not being detected.
I got it before
It's just the color of iodine.
I saw the primary, secondary, tertiary. It helped me because
Is the
I
apple
was
juice
able to
green or is
review
that
it.
translucent?
Okay.
Like all the people
Well, apple juice is already urine color. If you add some more to it, it
something from
becomes dark.
somewhere else.
I would still say that's a negative reaction.
Oh,
But if you go back and look at these, ain't nothing like that. And if you go forward again, the ones that reacted, I would say were really strong. I don't see a blue there at all for a weak reaction. I sure don't see a purple there. It's either yay or nay. And I got a nays and got two yays over there. Now I'm curious about what you brought in. I brought in the flakes of raisin bran. I don't think of raisins. I brought in the piece of honey wheat bread. I brought in some zipper peas my wife cooked today. So she gave me those to bring in. They're prepared. I brought in something else. Can't remember. I'll remember.
Right there.
So let me get me a pencil to write with and go over there, and I'm going to sit beside Jared so I can work the stuff. And we'll just see where we stand.